thing about desire is that desire, and in general, and possessive desire in particular, has a potency to cover over the conscious living entity, so that the conscious living entity becomes unconscious, though living, though existing but unconscious. And the way this works is, to help you understand what I'm thinking about, I'll give 3 examples. Example number 1 is a thief who continues to steal even though he or she knows that ultimately you have to quit stealing unless you want to be caught, because that's the nature of that profession. You just cannot continue to steal forever. Ultimately, eventually, everyone gets busted, and then you're in trouble. Yet, blinded by the desire to possess, to own the things that he or she wants to steal, this person continues to engage in these activities. So, interrupt. So in this way, even though the person knows one thing but acts against this understanding, so this is conscious covering. The other example, before I state the other example, I do have to ask you whether you have ever ventured out to catch a monkey.
No.
No one here ever wanted to have a monkey? Did you catch it?
No.
No. So that means you don't know how to catch a monkey. Here, anyone knows how to catch a monkey?
Don't you put like fruit in a jar or something like that? And it, like,
Yeah,
won't
can
let
you
go?
can you believe that? That's dumb. But that's exactly how it works. You put a banana in a hollow place, and you leave a hole through which the monkey is going to go for that banana. And the hole has to be small enough, big enough for the monkey to be able to push the hand in, but small enough so the monkey cannot pull it out if he's holding something in his hand. Because you see, when you're holding something in your hand, the fist expands, but when you go like this, it's a little more narrow, so you can stick it in, but once you grab the thing, you can't pull it out. Okay. So that's what the stupid monkey does. Puts the hand in, grabs the banana, and all you have to do, come and pick it up. And you can see thing, freaking out, as the monkey is seeing the hunter approaching, the monkey starts to panic, Oh my God, I'm getting caught. Well, dude, just drop the banana. But nope. Doesn't want to do it. And then, and you can see, closer the hunter comes, the thing is just freaking out, and with the left fist he's like swirling all around, but he doesn't want to let go of the banana, because he's just so absorbed in the thought of biting onto that banana. So this is a very good example how desire, and more particularly possessive desire, can cover you. So even you're conscious, you're basically unconscious. It covers sections of your brain. Not exactly brain, but sections of your conscious existence. So even though you know something, you don't know. You act contrary to it. And the third example I want to give is of a fellow who celebrated his 21st birthday, and apparently happened just a few days ago. Celebrated his 21st birthday, and he had 20... Did I say 24 or 21?
21st.
21st, okay. So he had 21 shots of some alcoholic beverage, So he had 21 shots, and after 21st shot, he died. Okay, I put it kind of funny, but it's horrible.
Is it a true story?
True story. Just happened a few days ago. I kind of put it in, not to darken up the moment here, but basically the guy died, some hours later they tried to save him, but it was impossible, and just like covering to the point where he actually ended up dead. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my God, 21. I'm gonna be flying. Flying to where? Straight to grave. So, it is this same desire. And now, thus far I spoke in terms of details, but if we think of a principle, so desire in general and possessive desire in particular has this potency to cover over consciousness, so that we engage in activities which are stupid. And even activities that we shouldn't do, that we actually don't want to do, and in activities that others don't want us to do. I mean, there's so many examples, you know, like one country sending soldiers over to another country to, you know, kill hundreds of thousands of people, just so that a few could get oil out of their soil, for example. And they, like, I mean, you have to be terribly covered over. You have to be terribly covered over to allow yourself to make such a decision. It means you're not conscious of the suffering of those living entities. Just like people who, you know, people who are capable of hurting other living entities, other creatures like animals or whatever, or human beings. They can do that only because they're covered. The moment we know what the other creature is experiencing, we go, oh, that's horrible, can't do it. Anyhow, I mean, many examples of it just coming to mind, but I want to get to the point, finish this. The false ego or the wrong, fake concept of who I am is fueled by this type of a desire. You get focused on a thing that you want to get. And you become possessive, you desire, you become permeated by this desire to accomplish that, to get there, to get that you don't even know what the heck you're doing. And you continue to make stupid steps or stupid mistakes, whichever way you want to put it. So, I mean, I remember as a teenager, I so badly wanted to be recognized out there as a particular kind of a guy. You know, I had an image cut out for me, a profile in my mind. And I wanted everyone to think of me as such. And when people didn't think of me as such, I was very disappointed. I would have like identity crisis. But the interesting thing that the self-deception was so deep that I couldn't even tell that what other people were seeing was real me, not what I wanted them to see me as. But I was so covered over by this desire to appear as Mr. Such and Such that I lived in this cloud of illusion. Now, for anyone who is a seeker, who's seeking to truth, this is basically equal to decapitating yourself. You're dead in the water right there. You have to be honest. You have to be. I mean, are you seeking the truth or you're seeking the lies? That's the point. So, to help us understand different levels of course, we could say that there are multiple levels of discovering, but at least in the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita, 3 levels are mentioned. And the first one is the covering like that of smoke covering fire. So smoke does not really cover the fire, you know. It covers it somewhat. It disturbs, like smoke disturbs, isn't it? Especially if you're in a dome or a tent. We used to do a lot of those events. We build fire and then cry and suffer. So the smoke does not cover the fire. Fire is still visible. The heat is there, the light is there, but it still covers it to a certain extent. So this is given as an example of a person who is very much conscious, but it's unconscious just to certain extents. So that, you know, unconscious to certain extents. But for the most part, one is a conscious, functioning, truthful, living being. The other example is given that of a mirror covered by dust. Now, when mirror is covered by dust, if the dust is thick enough, one cannot see the reflection of one's own face in it. So this example is given to tell of a person who's covered over, but can tell I'm covered over. And in order to see my face in the mirror, I just need to remove the dust. So this covering is somewhat greater, in the sense that person is covered, but it's not totally bad because person understands I'm covered over. And many of us have experienced this. We get caught up in the desire, and we're doing stupid things, and we're telling to ourselves, "Oh my God, this is stupid," but we carry out with it. We carry out the activity, you know. This is sort of that situation, and this can be rectified, because by applying oneself to a conscious spiritual process of which is basically constituting of removing the dust of the mirror, one will get to see oneself, one's reflection in the mirror, and will again become a fully conscious being. And then the third example is given to help us understand the third level of covering is that of embryo covered by the womb. Now that's complete covering. You're just so covered over, you don't even know it. You don't even know it. And even if others tell you, you don't know it. As a matter of fact, you just get disturbed. You just get disturbed. And, you know, one who has reached this level of covering is very, very difficult to help. And usually what it takes is just a lot of, hopefully not a lot, but at least few, but usually it tends to be a lot. Depends how thick the covering is. A lot of painful experiences. One after another, and when the pain becomes acute, the person says, what's going on? I must be doing something wrong. Well, yeah, you know, pull your head out of your ass. Excuse my Bengali. The whole world is trying to tell you something. You're like... to conclude this section of teachings, Krishna tells his student, he says that therefore consider this kama, or desire in general, and possessive desire in particular, to be the worst enemy of the conscious self, or the conscious living entity. And therefore, first steps toward conscious, awakened, truthful life, spiritual life, begins with renunciation of this possessive desire. Conscious renunciation of possessive desire. So in other words, when you see, oh my God, I'm becoming possessive over my iPhone 5 or whatever. What's the other one? Galaxy something. They're competing all the time.
Samsung S3.
Samsung? Galaxy. So it is
Samsung
Galaxy.
Galaxy
Okay,
S3.
yeah. I saw a commercial on YouTube. It was a funny one. So when you find yourself becoming possessively attached, developing possessiveness over things, you know, whatever it might be, you know, another human being, we often become possessive of especially a body of a different human being. Not only objects, dead objects, but also of other human beings, situations, so on. And those are serious practitioners. They remove themselves from it. Just to practice this renunciation of possessive desire, so they can actually come to the point of, you know, truthful conscious existence. So, done.